Hey guys, welcome to the IGTV video that was promised about a week ago. Thank you for all of you who participated in the polls that I posted in regards to Ask the Expert series with QuickBooks. As you know, I have partnered with QuickBooks on this series, and I'm really excited to dive into some of the questions that you submitted that you wanted me to answer on this IGTV. Okay, before we get into the questions, I want to dive just a little bit deeper into the like, know, trust principle. And as I mentioned before, it has been pivotal in me growing my brand in business and increasing sales. And so honestly, it's as simple as it seems. As a business owner, you want your consumers and customers to like who you are and like how you do business so they can return and do even more business with you. 2, you want people to know who you are. They need to know who your brand is, because if you provide great customer service or you're doing something extraordinary, they're going to go tell their friends. And when they tell their friends, they're going to refer them to your business, and therefore it's going to help increase your sales and revenue. And last but not least, the final one is trust. You want your consumers and customers to trust who you are and how you go about doing business, because when they trust you, they'll invest more in you. So as you know, I partnered with QuickBooks with the Ask the Expert series, and I thought it was very important because for me personally, as an entrepreneur and also a small business owner, there were a couple of things that really helped me grow and scale my business to drive sales. And that was the like, know, trust principle, which is something that I had talked about on my in-feed posts as well as in my stories. And that's kind of how these questions came about, because I was really wanting to hear from you what questions you had from me in regards to driving sales in your business. And so, as you know, as a community and of entrepreneurs and small businesses, like, the more we stick together, the more we can grow together and we can learn from each other. And I really hope that you find this IGTV helpful. If so, go ahead and save it so you can reference it later. But we're going to go ahead and get into the first question that was submitted. Okay, and just so I don't get off track, I made sure I printed out the question so I can reference it correctly and answer it to the best of my ability. So for the first question, the question was, now that we're working towards a post-COVID-19 world, do you think it is possible to grow your direct-to-consumer brand or DTC brand that is solely e-commerce? So that is a really amazing question because, as you know, due to COVID-19, a lot of small businesses do direct-to-consumer or DTC campaigns and marketings, and they are DTC brands. So I definitely believe that now that we're coming out of this COVID-19 pandemic, that there is absolutely space for DTC brands to solely grow their e-commerce business. And the reason why I say that this is totally possible to do is because your marketing is going to be so incredibly important because you are speaking directly to the consumer. So if you have your marketing plan in place, and you have an avenue to get that marketing in front of your consumers, then I definitely believe that you can grow your brand as an e-commerce business. A lot of that goes on behind the scenes. It's going to definitely depend on, again, that like, know, trust factor or like, know, trust principle to get those consumers to actually purchase from you to drive sales in your business. So be sure that when you're putting this marketing plan together, that you're very targeted in your approach of who you're speaking to, who you're directly marketing to, so that way it can increase your sales in your business. All right, so moving on to question number 2. This question is, when it comes to driving revenue and increasing sales, how do you know where to delegate and where to take ownership in the process? What task would you see as a good use of outsourcing, such as billing, admin, and etc.? This is such a great question, and simply because when you're running a small business or you're an entrepreneur, it really boils down to understanding what your skill set is and what your strengths are and what you can actually accomplish. Now, I know as an entrepreneur and small business owner, I always have this sense of control that is hard for me to relinquish when it comes to running my business, because I have an issue of just trusting that the job is going to be done to my expectations. So it makes it very challenging for me to delegate. But I do understand that it's very important to delegate in my business because If I want my business to grow, I have to let go of things because I honestly can't do it all. And I'm sure you probably feel the same way. And that's why it's important to delegate the tasks that you know how to do, really don't have time to do, or you just don't really love to do, and allow someone else to do that for you so you can spend time on growing your business the way that you want to grow your business and focus on the things that you love doing the most. Okay, so in regards to the second question is, what are some things that I think that would be great things to outsource in your business? I know for me personally, I like having a team member to help me go through my emails to make sure I'm not missing anything important and I'm not leaving any money on the table. And I know for a lot of people too, and a lot of women that I coach in their businesses, I always talk about the importance of social media marketing and how having someone there on your team to help you just do that process can save you so much time. And not only it will help you drive sales, because the more your brand is in front of your consumers, the more your brand is out there that people can see and engage with, is definitely going to help you drive sales. So maybe a social media marketer and someone to kind of help you as admin go through those emails to help you stay on task to where you can also continue to bring in more money to grow your business. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Definitely delegate if you have the opportunity to and you have the means to in your business. It will save you so much time. Just remember, we don't always have to do it all, that we should always be willing to accept help in our business, because it would also lessen the stress of us having to feel like we have to do it all. Everything doesn't always have to be on us. Although it's our babies, it's our business, just remember that you can ask for help, and you can definitely outsource when you need to free up additional time and resources for yourself. All right, so we're moving on to the final question. And the final question is, how can you apply the like, know, trust principle to negotiate deals as a digital content creator or as a digital creator? Y'all know this gets me excited. This is right up my alley. This is what I coach a lot of my women on. And let me just say, and I don't think I have said this enough, the like, know, trust principle can make or break your business, in my own personal opinion and professional opinion. And it's simple because when your consumers love you, like you, they learn to trust you because you become that expert. You become that person that they trust, that's going to give them great customer service, and they get to know you and your brand. It just really elevates your brand and your business as a whole. And here's something I want you to think about. When it comes to negotiating deals as a digital creator or digital content creator, and the like, know, trust principle, think about your everyday relationships. Think about the people that you do business with. What makes you decide to do business with that person? And when it comes to negotiating, it comes down to relationships. It comes down to being confident in how you speak, being confident in your brand and what you have to offer. Because negotiating is basically two people coming to terms and agreeing on something. And as a digital creator, there's so many different facets of how you can go about negotiating, but when that brand or that company likes what you're producing, knows that you're going to produce great content, and trusts that you're going to get the job done, it really does separate you from everybody else in the pack. This kind of stuff gets me so excited. So I'm going to go just a little bit further about negotiating and why the like, no, trust principle is so important. Outside of just building a relationship, when you're down to negotiating when it comes to funds or money to grow your brand or business, having these conversations are very important. And if you're in that conversation already, you're there for a reason. You're there because that brand or company likes what you're producing. They trust that you're going to provide the results that they're asking for or looking for, and that they know that you're going to stay true to who it is that you are and what you say that you're going to provide. It's no different than us everyday consumers, right? You walk into a store, you trust that store, you know they have high quality products, and when you buy it, you're going to get everything out of it that you had hoped for. It's no different as a digital content creator. And think about this too. When you are at the negotiation table, you have to ask yourself, like, why am I here? You're here because of that principle. And that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in to this IGTV. And more importantly, thank you so much for participating and submitting your questions to the Ask the Expert series and me answering when it comes to the like, know, trust principle and growing and driving sales in your business. As always, if you have any questions in regards to anything that was discussed here, you can reach out to me via DM, you can comment below, or you can shoot me an email. And don't forget to head over to QuickBooks Social, check them out, and find out more about the Ask the Expert series and who's up next in the series as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous day.